Hello!
Hello!
Hello! Welcome to Mostly Finished Thoughts.
Welcome to Mostly Finished Thoughts, episode 14.
You know, someday we're going to be at like episode 98. And
yeah,
it's going to be wild.
Yes.
And we're going to have the same number of listeners.
Yes. A steady 20. Yeah.
Yeah. We know no increase.
Yeah, just...
Yeah.
Much rather than it fizzles out, that we have 5 left. People going,
yeah.
They were good for the first 14, and they just went off the rails.
I remember back in the day when they were good.
When they were just mostly unfinished thoughts and not just...
Do you ever wonder if you've peaked?
Yes. Daily,
I think about this all the time. All the time.
All the time going, I might have peaked. Is this as good as it gets?
Yeah.
Is it all downhill from here? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
So I had a slow-ish stream yesterday.
Yeah.
It was a good stream. I honestly had a great time. I don't know what it was. My audio was just like, mwah. Like my voice just felt like it sounded really good.
Yeah.
But we rated with a significant number less
Yeah.
people than we normally rate with. And
Did the person you rated comment on this?
no.
Thank you for the raid, but I expected more.
Who did we rate? Oh no, we rated Abby because she released a single yesterday. But no, I did feel that a little bit. Like I did feel it a bit, rating in being like, she's very familiar with my stream.
Yeah.
I feel like that she probably looked at that and was like, oh, that's less than normal.
No one's
But
thinking
it
that.
fully was like that.
It is only you thinking that.
Yeah,
It is
true.
100% in your own brain.
It is.
Although I feel the same way when I raid with less people than I thought. But
Oh yeah.
but being
And
rated, I never think, oh well, they
No.
only mustered up these men.
Unless it's like dramatic. Like if someone that I know is like huge comes in with like 20 people, I'm like, you were playing games.
There's always a music streamer has played games. He's raiding with 14 people.
Yeah. Usually raised with like 250. You're like,
But
oh my
still,
God,
like,
what happened to you?
Also, the
Yeah.
same thing. We were talking about this before, but like 14 people watching you playing games. That's incredible. That's a huge amount of people.
It is. It is.
If you
It's
look at
just that thought of like
you're used to
realizing.
having. Because I was thinking
Yeah.
about that the other day, like people playing Fortnite or whatever, Fortnite's, PUBG, those things, streaming to 6 people. I've been doing it for years. Wow. And then the the little silver spoon we get by playing music and having people come in.
Honestly, it's true. A friend of mine is going to be starting music streaming soon, and I'm so excited for her because, like, she streamed with me. She used to write music with me, and so, like, kind of similar to a couple of other people that I've gotten started, I've also like introduced my community to her already, so she's already not starting at zero. So she's already got like a little group of people that are invested in her journey. And I told her, I'm like, as soon as you start streaming music, you're gonna explode way faster than you are playing. She plays mainly like Apex Legends.
That's not saturated market at all, right? There's
not at all.
Like 4
Very
people
few
streaming.
Yeah. Music streaming is very different. But just to backtrack so that I didn't lose my segue entirely, was that when I raided with like slightly less people last night, I fully was like, I had a really amazing time. 5 minutes later, have I peaked?
Yes. The old
It's only
brain.
downhill from here. It's the end.
Yeah.
And it's not even the comparison beast at that point. It's just the like self-doubt beast being like, well, you did good,
A
kid.
close relative to the comparison beast.
It's been fun. Yeah. It's all downhill from here.
I still remember the zombie raids in the beginning. Or like the raid trains that happens when you think, wow, so many people that someone raided with. And then you realize, okay, so they've been streaming in the US and people probably fell asleep. Then you go, okay, it might not be that many people after all.
That's kind of how front page feels at the same time.
Pardon?
Kind of how the front page feels too.
Yeah, that is, very much the same. Big numbers and still, oh, okay, well.
Yeah. I think we have a very Twitch-centric podcast planned for today.
I think so as well. There's been some
which is good,
developments.
Yeah, and we also haven't talked about Twitch as much the last couple of streams. I keep saying it. It's a podcast. Sorry.
You did something important on Friday. Speaking of Twitch.
Yeah, I did. I participated in the Twitch open mic on Friday, which we had talked about on a previous episode, because neither of us were impressed that it was a contest. Still not impressed that it was a contest, to be clear. Participated, still not impressed. But I do want to give you the inside scoop.
Oh, there's an inside scoop.
Because, and it's a little bit spicy.
The spice finger.
The spice finger came out.
Oh.
So basically, the way that it worked in the end was that I had to apply via like a Google form. Yes. And so I sent in this form. Someone from Twitch emailed me and said, here's the rules. Are you in? And I said, yes. And she said, okay, I'm now going to put you in contact with these two people who work for an external company that we have hired to run this event. What? And I said, okay. Then these two people reach out to me. So far we're at a count of three separate people who I've communicated with for this 15-minute event. I get added to a Discord server where I have to, there's a bunch of channels, people kind of chat, but not really. And there's like a check-in channel where I have to check in once I'm live.
Oh, yeah.
For some reason. But then this other person also DM'd me and is my like contact to like time me in, to like count me in on like, okay, it's going to be like 10 minutes until you're on or whatever. Which was very helpful because otherwise there was like no way for me to know. And then I was live. So I was live on my channel. I had to be live an hour before. And then I had to install a thing that would let the poll work across channels for like voting and stuff. And like all things considered, like the day of, things did run very smoothly. Like it was.
It sure seemed,
It
seemed like a very smooth operation from like a viewer's perspective.
It was quite smooth. It was weird for me because the timing definitely didn't line up, which I get it, like that just happens, but it was more like she would be like, okay, I'm about to start counting you in, and then I would kind of wait like 5-10 minutes, and then she would give me the 10-minute warning. So it was just like I never knew if I could like start singing something or if I had time to like go pee. Like it was weird. Even like the 5-minute warning was way more than 5 minutes. And then trying to squeeze 3 songs into 15 minutes was rough as well. And because they had everything like timed to a T, I literally couldn't go past my 15 minutes even by like 10-15 seconds. So like she's counting. I played Live on a Farm as my last song. I raced through it, and she's like in my Discord being like 30 seconds till you're off. Like as I'm playing my song, I'm watching those messages come in. So it was fine. Wow. I was in a block with Sashi Boom and Just Joe. And of course Just Joe won because he's got the biggest audience of all of us. But I think the most bizarre part about the whole event, on the day of it was smooth. I also had to sign a contract with this company, with this external company that they had hired to promise that I wasn't going to sue them and that I was going to follow the rules, which was basically like, don't play cover songs, don't swear.
It's like an FCC.
And it just felt so bizarre. And like, I was not nervous about it at all. And like my parents, the next day I saw them, my mom's like, you were so nervous. Like there was only 150 people watching on the Twitch front page thing. And you've played for that amount of people all the time. And I'm like, I know, but it was less about that. And it was more that because they made it such a big production.
As soon as there's contracts and there's a feeling of people depending on you and that you have to deliver things.
Yeah, exactly. That was more where the anxiety came from, and like knowing that the judges were also like watching and saying things in real time, and like all of that just made me very nervous. I just think it's crazy that Twitch like spend money on this very simple event, and like they have 4 people streaming at the same time.
Yeah.
Like the stream is live on my stream, on the Twitch music page, on Leon's, and on Raquel's. So the two judges. So it's like you've split your audience into 4.
Yeah.
I don't understand why you wouldn't put it into one. And like they're running ad breaks on purpose, trying to like make ad revenue. And it's like, why are you running the ad breaks to the least number of people?
Yeah.
Like I had almost 150 people just in my channel, yet alone like spread across the other ones. So it was just a very, very bizarre.
Did you get any followers?
Yeah, 69.
69 new followers?
Yeah.
That is a good day.
Well, that was also 69 from like the whole stream. Okay. So there was definitely a lot while I was streaming, but like from beginning to the end of my stream, I got 69 new followers.
I'm guessing
so it was like
good exposure at least, and people.
Yeah, and that's what I was kind of doing it for in the first place. It's just like I didn't need to win. I just wanted to participate and have that experience kind of thing. But it just like, oh my gosh, like so much anxiety going into it because of the like talk to this person and then this person and sign this contract and be in this Discord. But also you're not just in this Discord, they're also going to DM you. And it's just like, why is this such a mess?
Holy, yeah.
So it was weird, but we were the last episode.
When we did Sharathon for Rad and those things. The mod team, my God, how that was a smooth machine. Those are quote unquote amateurs. I don't think any one of them had previous experience running a thing like this. Like the whole Sharathon thing was just incredible.
Like between like the Charathon, Courtney Visser has a show. Yeah. I have a show. Even like the Saving Music Live people, like that's a complicated operation. Yeah. And all of them are not employees from like a separate company. And it just makes me think like when I first heard about it, I was excited that the judges were at least people from within the community, you know, that it was Raquel and Leon.
And not some people going, hello, we're the hype men from outside company to bring you the newest, freshest of Twitch music. Yeah.
It was like the like, it wasn't Twitch Idol, but it was that kind of idea. And the girl who was hosting it had no idea who anybody was and was just some like random person. Like that was so odd to me. But yeah, so like, I don't know. I just feel like they're spending money on things they don't need to spend money on. They hired this external company. It's I know I did it on purpose. Are you proud of me?
Is this outside company a company I would know of, by the way? Or is it? No. It was
just like, and it's very common for like big companies to hire external companies to run their events. And it just means that it's something that Twitch doesn't have to think about. It's just, to me, it's like that is an expense and an overcomplication that they don't need. Yeah. You know? But yes.
So speaking of Twitch,
you should explain what happened today. Yes.
So apparently there was some major hack today. Someone acquired a lot of resources from Twitch. Their whole source code for how the webpage works, their API. They also got hold of all the revenue that people have made from Twitch. And this is part 1, apparently. They're threatening to release part 2 on Monday. This might include like social things. And it's been seeing how much people made. Let's not talk about specifics, I think. Let's just avoid that grenade or that mine. Let's just say that people have made great amount of money. And so well deserved that they made this money. But Alanna brought up that for every penny the streamer has made, Twitch has also made some bucks on this. So they have a few monies to spare, I think.
Well, I think it's important to realize that, you know, you look at some of these like crazy high top earners who are earning in the millions. Yeah. No one has a deal in which Twitch gets 0% of their earnings. Like, even a lot of top performers, if they can negotiate their subscription, it's only getting down to like 35 to 40%. Like, per sub, right? So when you look at, if we assume that people are still having a 50-50 split on their subs, if they're making, $3 million in revenue, Twitch is also making $3 million in revenue. And like, obviously that's, tiny. And like, and this is obviously, not accounting for people who do have different revenue shares, the fact that tier 2 and tier 3 are, different percentages by default, at least for partners. And obviously these people who are making the most money are partnered creators. But it is just this, like, I don't know. I think it's easy for people to be like, whoa, they got rich off of Twitch. And it's like, also, Twitch got rich off of them. Well, not that Twitch wasn't rich before, but you know what I mean. When you look at them spending money, and we've talked about this before about, if the revenue split on Twitch is fair, and people argue about it all the time, and da 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 da. And we talked about how much Twitch made last year. I think it was some 3-point-something billion. I can't remember what the number was, but it was a lot of money. And it is interesting to look at, like, okay, so if we look at all of these top creators and all of the money that they're making, and then think of, like, okay, Twitch is making even slightly less than that because of the percentage split. Someone's making, $3 million. If you look at what, maybe it's not double, but maybe Twitch is making $2.5 million off of that person. That's a lot of money.
For supplying bandwidth or sort of
for hosting. Yeah, exactly.
But I guess they also pay for us small streamers in some way. Yeah,
they do. I think that's a good way of looking at it, actually.
Someone put it in your Discord,
because they are hosting us.
Yeah. And if you're starting out streaming on Twitch, it's free. You don't have to pay like an entrance fee to start streaming. Because
but it is important to realize that they are running ads on your channel. Even if you are tiny, you can click on someone's channel and they will get an ad when they click on it, right? They're still monetizing your content. So it's not free.
No.
Like
there is no.
But it is, I think that is correct. That they are allowing smaller people to stream and
try and see if they enjoy it. Someone said, I read a conversation with someone that Twitch is like a scam. Someone said, they force you to give their social security numbers. Yes. Do you know how a contract works? Someone thought like that Twitch was a big scammer site. Going, how do you think an affiliate contract works? If you're getting money from them, do you expect them to just drop off a bag of cash at your door? Going, thank you, Mr. Streamer.
I mean, that'd be nice.
Oh, like a wheelbarrow of cash. Hello.
Yeah. You just get like a box at your door. It's just got like a T on the top of it. And you're like,
it's that time of month. Bring, Mr. Landlord. Yeah, that would be good. Here's my box.
Here's my old box of cash.
the old box of cash.
Yeah, I think that unless Twitch's financials ever got released, like details of their financials, which I believe you can find some details of in places because you have to legally.
I think they're probably.
Is there a publicly traded entity?
I think so.
Is Twitch a publicly traded? Can you buy Twitch stock? You can buy Amazon stock. Can you buy Twitch stock?
I don't know.
To Google.
I was just thinking of stock like broth. Thinking of what's her name that sold her bathwater a few years ago. Would that be Twitch stock?
Twitch is not a publicly traded company.
It is not.
Okay. So they don't have to reveal their.
And didn't Bezos step down as owner from Amazon or as president?
Yeah.
I think they changed CEOs a few weeks back.
Not that he's not still benefiting massively.
Did you also see, by the way, speaking of Twitch and contracts, that they signed with a label?
I did.
Did you see the specifics of this?
I read the article.
Yeah.
Are there any more specifics other than that?
I don't think so. I just curious about your thoughts on how the DMCA, if it will become a better thing or get even worse than it is now.
I don't think it's going to impact it at all, if I'm being honest. or if it does, if it is, because they didn't get a licensing agreement.
Yeah.
They've signed some sort of agreement with Warner. I think the other thing to remember is Warner is one of a few really big labels that are like vicious when it comes to DMCA, but the biggest one is Sony.
It is?
And so, you know, is it possible that we, because of this deal with Warner, we get a big list of songs that we can play because they're licensed by Warner?
So you have like a karaoke place. You have a licensed song in the thing.
Exactly. And so it's like people can can just search everything on your song list and find out what is licensed by Warner. And like Warner's got a lot of subsidiaries, so like it would be a very large library of songs. But I think without having Sony, I don't know. I don't really know. What are your thoughts?
I'm just hoping that things will get easier. Just for like, I don't know even if it should be easier. Because you are using someone else's intellectual property. So in that way, they should be compensated. But I mean, YouTube has a way of handling VODs. If Twitch can just do that, then we would be off to a flying start. If they could just go, oh, you're using this song in this video, okay, then they get the money from ad revenue. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy.
Is there ads when you watch a VOD?
If not, there should be. And then if they could just monetize
kind of,
because that's the whole
kind of what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Is like it. I don't think this is fully me talking out of my ass. By the way,
the segment
I just need to be
Alanna
very
talks
clear.
out of her ass.
Yes. I don't believe that we make any money off of VODs.
No, we don't make any money off of VODs. No. We make
and
money
thus,
we make
if the recording is what's the problem, I don't understand. Like, there's no earnings being made on the VODs except by Twitch, which makes it a Twitch problem.
You are making earnings in the commodity for your viewers so they can rewatch your videos. That way,
and I think that might be the root of the problem. Is that on YouTube, it's very, very easy for YouTube to take a look and say, like, okay, this ad played for this amount of time to this many viewers. And like the advertisers are paying usually like per view, a certain number of cents per view. And so it's very easy to say like, okay, you get X share of X money that advertiser paid us. Whereas I think on Twitch, the VODs, it's a much more difficult thing. I think if they did adapt a system like YouTube where it's like, okay, we're going to keep the VODs up.
We're
going to have an ad that plays before, or even if you like shuffle through the VOD, then another ad plays, and then all of that money goes to the label or it goes to whoever has like claimed it based on the content ID. But I do think that I will cut Twitch a little bit of slack in that it's incredibly complicated.
Yeah. Oh my God. The legal nightmare of sorting out. Yeah.
It's kind of in my opinion this whole time, to be honest, is the DMCA itself is extremely outdated and extremely protective of the platforms. I mean, it was created like almost 2 decades ago. Early internet. Like, I don't really blame Twitch 100% for the DMCA issues because the DMCA itself is such a relic of the past. But like, I would like to see the DMCA change and be edited.
Yeah, for sure.
People can still have their intellectual property protected, but in a way that adapts to the way that the internet is now.
It's what? Are you saying that the internet changed since early 2000s? We're doing the exact same thing. It's what is called Newsground, where you're playing Flash games. And there's that on the internet.
We stream on Coffee Break Arcade. That's all. We're all in 8-bit.
Yeah. Oh man, internet was amazing. And so weird. And so untamed. There was so much weird shit. It was the Wild West. I see more weird shit nowadays than I do back then. Back then you actively had to go and find weird shit.
Yeah.
Now it's
you needed
constantly...
to know the people that knew where the weird shit was.
Yeah, and now it's people just everywhere going, have you seen this? People are enraged because of this image. Going, I don't want to see that. Your whole feed. There was no social media. You connected with people on AIM?
Yeah.
And yeah. We didn't have AIM in Sweden. We had MSN.
We also had MSN.
Yeah.
We didn't have AIM. Yeah.
But was there also AOL? Like messenger service?
Yes.
And then you had to...
Yeah.
Then you had to add people by their email. You had to know someone's email to add them. That is a wild concept. There was no avatar. There was no way of finding people. You met people in chat rooms and you asked them for their emails. Or you met someone at a party and you said, hello, can I have your email address?
Yeah, let's chat on MSN.
And then
Give me your email address.
On MSN.
Yeah.
And if you had a crush, you would wait for them to come online. I just realized that the other day. They have signed in. Oh my god! Okay, will they type to me? Will I be the first? Because you could also see they are typing. Mm-hmm. It was wild.
I was not allowed to have MSN.
Oh.
When I was growing up, did that mean I didn't have MSN? No.
No.
I fully did. It was illicit. It's illicit material. I didn't have. So what I used to do, this is insane when I think back to it, because I had a crush on someone and I wanted to talk to them on MSN, and this was like through high school. Like my parents did not let me have Facebook for a really long time. Yeah. They didn't let me have MSN. And I mean, really, then I just started playing World of Warcraft, and the fact that somehow slips through the cracks when I wasn't allowed to have social media, but I could now communicate with people from all over the world. It was
just orcs and gnomes, it's fine.
Yeah. I used to use my parents' computer when there was time, and like sneak onto it and open MSN and log in and see if I could talk to anybody, and then I had to log in and log out every time, so like they wouldn't remember my secret email address, and then I would also have to hide it from the start menu, because the start menu used to be recently opened programs. So I used to have to clear it from the recently open. I had a whole operation.
Oh my goodness.
Just to see if my crush wanted to talk to me on MSN.
That is a skill people won't get nowadays if they're new to computers, like the being stealthy on the family computer.
Oh, yeah.
With whatever you might be browsing that you don't want your family to find out.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, empty that cache memory. Oh, there we go.
Yeah. I remember staying at my grandparents' house, and they had dial-up internet. And I was so excited because my parents were going away that weekend. They just left us there. I think it was just me as well. It wasn't even me and my brother. I think my brother was staying with someone else, and I just played Neopets and chatted on MSN the whole weekend on their really terrible dial-up internet. It was so horrible.
That sounds absolutely wonderful.
Oh, it was great.
I'm having one of those moments. What's it called? The Baader-Meinhof complex, where you hear a phrase you've never heard before, and then you hear it constantly. Have you heard of the Baader-Meinhof thing?
No, but I know what you mean.
So there's a thing called, for those of you who don't know, Baader-Meinhof was like a criminal gang in Germany that made bank heists. And people, apparently, after the first time they heard Baader-Meinhof, they'll constantly hear it all around them. And I have the same thing now with neopets. I'd never heard or thought about neopets in my entire life. And then 3 times yesterday, people were talking about neopets. And now today, Fel had to go, you don't know Neopets? Don't you know anything?
I am vaguely shook that you don't know what Neopets is.
I have no idea what Neopets is. Still, Fel showed me. She opened her browser and went, look at this. This is Neopets. Going,
I know. I'm still devastated that I had a Neopets account and I shared it with somebody, and then I lost the password and I never was able to get my
What did you do on
Neopets?
Neopets?
mostly play mini games. Like you would go to like shops and stuff, but you would usually just like play mini games. You go to like the random drops. Like some people had like houses, and then you could buy like furniture.
So like a browser
to a
Tamagotchi
degree.
thing.
But they didn't ever die. They just got hungry, and then you would feed them.
Oh no, but it wasn't like that because they didn't die.
Yeah, they didn't die. So it didn't really matter, but like they were happier and like they would find items for you, I think, randomly. But because it was all like browser based,
yeah.
Like things were pretty random. Like you would just get like a pop-up that was like, you found a paintbrush or whatever.
No.
But I used to mainly play like mini games, and people like there was like an auction house. Wow. No, it wasn't an auction house. People would have like shops, like their own shops. And so you could go to the auction house and then like search for an item, and then you could see, I think, everyone that was selling it. Or did you have to go to everyone's individual stores? I don't know. There was a whole economy on there, because if you got a paintbrush, you could paint your neopets like really cool colors.
How have I completely missed this?
Dumb. I have no idea. It was a phenomenon.
It's a penguin thing that people were hanging out at.
Club Penguin? Club Penguin is young for me.
Okay.
My brother knew Club Penguin, and he was kind of into Club Penguin. I never was into it.
I feel so old and out of touch. These youngsters with their penguin club. Yeah. Neopets.
But like I feel like you were totally in the Neopets generation. If I am, you are.
Yeah, and especially Phil's just 1 year younger than I am, so
yeah.
I'm completely blanking.
That's so funny.
I was using a lot of like IRC, playing Counter-Strike, finding pickup games.
Okay, so like you were like a step ahead already. Like I feel like once I started playing like online games, like once I started playing World of Warcraft, I didn't play anything else anymore. So like I feel like that's maybe why I didn't ever look at like Club Penguin and stuff. But I was already older. I feel like Club Penguin was for kids, kind of. I have no idea.
I have no idea. I've just.
But like I know a lot of people played. I want to say Runeterra. That's not what I mean.
RuneScape? No.
RuneScape. Thank you. I'm like, I know it's Rune something.
I never played
RuneScape. We have another term for that effect of when you hear something, then you keep hearing it, but I can't remember what. It's like something's law. That once you hear something, you'll hear it a bunch of times after that. It happens to me all the time. All the laws.
No,
Newton's law.
Goodwin's law.
Yeah.
What are the other laws?
I thought you had them bagged, considering you liked them so much.
No, I thought I knew a lot more laws than I did, apparently. Goodwin's law.
Does Da Vinci have a law? Does Einstein have a law?
What is the thing that everything goes to poop? Is that Goodwin's law?
I have no idea.
Everything will just fall apart. That's a law. Goodwin's law, isn't that one with Nazis? Or is that... Goodwin's law that somehow in a discussion on the internet, someone will at one point mention that the other one is like Hitler. Isn't that Goodwin's law?
I have no idea.
Okay.
I guess you should Google it. I wouldn't know how to spell it.
Have you heard of Cole's law?
No. Oh, haha. You almost got me. You were like two seconds.
I was too happy about it. I was too happy about it. I wanted to explain it was thinly sliced cabbage.
That was so smooth. I do like me a good coleslaw.
Coleslaw is amazing.
I can't think of any other laws. Point being, we do have that. Yeah. We do have that here as well.
Is it a Canadian thing, you think, or Toronto?
No, I don't think so. I think it might just be like a North American thing, because I've never heard of it referred to by the one that you said. But I wonder if that's a European thing, because Germany?
Might be.
I'll look it up later.
Good geography. Germany.
If anyone who's listening to this knows what I'm talking about, there's some sort of law that's like once you hear something once,
you'll pay attention to it.
You will keep hearing about it. Or it's like you hear something twice, you'll inevitably hear it like a third time or fourth time, or you'll keep hearing about it. I can't remember.
We'll have to look. Yeah, if you know this, please let us know in perhaps please Discord or email.
Yes.
Carrier pigeon.
So, question for you.
Yes.
to circle back, because somehow we ended up at Neopets from
I don't know how we got
Twitch
here.
earnings. I don't know how we got here either. I know.
Mostly finished.
When you look at earnings, so like Theo and I naturally did some digging.
A little gander.
Just a casual, there's a website set up where you can see how much people have earned.
It's highly illegal. I have to tell you this,
since
though.
2019.
I think that it's highly illegal what they've done.
Is it really?
Yeah. I think that website will be taken down momentarily.
Oh,
because
well,
it's posting.
If you want to look at it, look now.
Yeah.
I guess.
Take it
Or
on
don't. It doesn't really matter.
So when we look at earnings,
Theo and I have made pretty much the same amount of money, roughly, between August 2019 and now. Which is pretty cool. We high-fived about it, which is exciting. When you look at that stuff, does it inspire you, or does it make you feel small?
Both.
Like when you look at the people who are making tons and tons of money, are you like, I could do that? Or are you like, I will never.
I'm in a weird headspace overall. So I was just telling chat today that the thought of them giving me money is making me go, no, keep your money. But yeah, it's daunting to think about like people getting paid that much. And still, I enjoy their content. I'm fine with Carnage being paid millions because he's Co. There are people who I watch on Twitch where I go, how the hell are they making money? Who in the right mind would give money to this? And then people do. And I guess the same applies to us. I'm sure people come into our streams going, or at least my stream, going, what? Why is someone giving this man money?
I would say it's probably both of us. There's no, like, I had someone a couple weeks ago come in and be like, I don't get it.
That is fantastic.
I was like, I don't get bye.
Yeah.
And I'm like, honestly, dude, same sometimes, but
I'm here for it.
Here we are.
I just wanted to do something, and now we're here.
Yeah. It is funny. I started a bit before you, but I have a hard time thinking about that because really, I don't feel like my Twitch journey started until like February. Like I started in like August, and I feel like it didn't really take off until like February. And then once I moved, which puts us at starting at around the same time, I just had 6 months of faffing around.
Faffing, but it is. Do you find it daunting or inspiring with the numbers? Does it make you feel invalidated?
No, it definitely doesn't make me feel invalidated. I think I don't know. I'm also in a weird spot right now, in a weird kind of headspace but more in that, like, I am feeling a little stuck. Oh. And I don't know. Not even necessarily in a rut, just in place. Sorry, something in my eye. I keep getting stuff in my eyes today, and it's making me crazy. Like, I'm not necessarily stuck in a rut. It's more that I'm just stuck where I am. I feel like I've been here for a bit now, and it's like I don't know what to do to get to the next step. And so for me, looking at these people who are making like so much money,
that is even unfathomable. Yeah.
It's unfathomable. I have no idea how I would get to that. And it's also important to know that, you know, I mean, some of these people have obviously been streaming for, 5-6 years. Yeah. This isn't just like, they didn't just start and then now they've made this money. But yeah, I don't know. I think it's difficult for me to look at it. And on one hand, I'm like, wow, I could be making this much money. But on the other hand, I'm like, I have no idea how to scale what I'm doing into anything close to that.
Yeah. Is it time invested going up? Or like, will this happen? And it's so volatile as well because it comes down to people's personal preference and finding you at the right time. There's a lot of things to be tweaking. And if you start thinking about all the metrics that you could put into this and things improve. What I'm curious, when you say that you're stuck in one place and you don't know how to get to the next step, I'm very curious as to what the next step is. That is what I want to know.
I don't know. That's the problem.
Yes. Okay, good. because that is also my, like, okay. So I need to get to the next step. Okay. Brainstorming. How do we get to the... Perhaps figuring out what the next step is the next step.
I mean, do you know what I mean? Like, are you feeling that way at all?
That you've plateaued?
You've been, yeah.
Yeah.
We said peaking earlier. I refuse to believe that I've peaked.
Yeah, but
tell my brain that later, but yeah.
But yeah, of course. But it's the same thing when you playing an instrument. I found that you plateau from time to time, and you go, I'm just playing the same things overall, and again, and then one day you go, oh, I did something new, and your whole brain has unlocked a whole new level where you didn't have, like, you suddenly have a whole new level of playing. And I guess it's the same thing with streaming, that you will have times where you feel like you're just treading water and you're just staying in the same place. But then things will happen. You'll get a front page or something happens, or like you suddenly go not viral, but like you get some momentum on YouTube and stuff. And you do a podcast.
I think my problem with it, because you're right, you're 100% right. I think my problem is that it's so luck based, and it's difficult to, I was talking to someone a little while ago, and their numbers have dropped significantly recently. Or I guess not like recently, because my initial answer was like, oh, you're just in a rut. It's going to be okay. Like things are going to pop back up. But they're like, no, it's been like this for a while. And I felt horrible because I couldn't say like, oh, well, you should just try this, or you should just look at doing something, like do things this way, because I don't know. Like it's so much luck. It's so much
shit
of like
at the wall. And just hoping that something sticks. There's no, as we've talked about before, there's no clear cut or clear path for doing this. Like, as I said before, if you want to become a doctor, a teacher, you go take a course, and then you learn things, and then you get employed by someone, and then they tell you to teach this class, heal this person. Yeah. You and I are streaming our own free time, bound by no schedule except the one we make ourselves, hoping that people will show up. And then, on top of that, we hope that people will pay us money to support our music. And it's so weird.
It's so weird. And it's also, we looked at a few of the revenues for some other streamers as well that are in the music category, and honestly a little proud of myself because I did not have the compare beast come up to like yell at me at all. I don't feel like you can't say the same based on your reaction.
No, I feel the same roughly. It's just
like, I feel like you can't help it to a point, but like I was surprised, I kind of just looked at it and I'm like, yeah, you know what, that makes sense. Like, it wasn't like I could look at things and be like, I don't know. At that point, like, you can't feel bad. I don't know how to be different at this point with what I'm doing, if that makes sense. Like,
it feels sort of like I've painted myself into a corner.
Yeah.
That this works. And I don't know how to like elevate it. I guess it's like being a chef and cooking the same food, and you go, should I try and adding saffron? Will I lose my customers if I add saffron to this thing? And it's weird.
I think I just wish I knew what the saffron was.
That would also be good. You had these things that you could do. Yeah.
Yeah, if there was this like roster of things.
But I mean, you're doing Songtober.
I am doing Songtober, yeah.
On your own, you started up prompting because you didn't like the things the other people did, and you started your own thing. And now you have people writing songs.
Yeah. And this is kind of what I mean. Okay. So let's just talk about Songtober for like 10 seconds. So, and I find that this happens often, and maybe this is what people's mindsets should be, which is kind of impossible. Okay. Well, I'm going to make sense. I promise.
I'm here for it.
Thanks. I was going to do Songtober.
Yes.
I was going to do it no matter what. I did it last year. Our friend Malin created the prompt list last year. Yep. I sent her a multitude of messages over the past few weeks to say, like, are you going to make a prompt list this year? She said she was not. No. And so I made a prompt list, and people are participating.
Yeah.
I did not. And like, I had someone come into my stream today.
What?
Who had no idea who I was, but knew Songtober and knew that I had started Songtober. Wow. And so came in to catch my stream for the first time today because they had found out about that. I did not do Songtober for this purpose. I did it because I wanted to write music. Yeah. And all of a sudden, like, even so, Tyler Levs, another great streamer on the platform. Him and I don't communicate very often. Yeah. We obviously like know of each other. We support each other, but we're not like friends at this point yet. He's doing Songtober.
That's amazing.
And I'm sharing his entries. We're like Twitter friends. We're like chatting on Twitter. I rated him today. We chatted in his chat. He's listening to my songs. I'm listening to his songs. All of a sudden we've created this connection that we didn't have before. And I just think that's rad, you know, but I didn't do it on purpose. I didn't go out saying like, oh, I'm going to do Songtober and then that's going to get me a whole bunch of friends. No, I just wanted to write a whole bunch of songs.
Isn't that
so I made a prompt list.
Made? When you do things.
This is kind of what I'm saying. Yeah. Is like, no. You're making my point. That you're right. Is that like, it's this like, you have to do something because you want to do it. And then maybe that will also result in it being the secret spice.
Or anything.
You know what I mean? Yeah. But it's difficult to go into anything with that mindset because as soon as you think like this could be something that gets me followers or gets me popularity or whatever, chances are it's not going to do that anymore because now you're thinking about that. Like you really need to, in my experience anyways, you really need to genuinely just do something because you're like, I want to do this. And then anything else that happens is bonus.
Yeah, for sure. The gratifying feeling of getting it done. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
I had a person post a comment on one of my YouTube videos asking me this is a song I uploaded in like May of last year. Mm-hmm. And the person commented back then as well, like thanking me for a good version of the song. Same person now commented a year and a half later going, I'm struggling to understand what you're doing in the chorus. Could you share some tabs? And there's no tabs for the song, but I can record you a little thing. And I did, and it was so much fun because it's a song I love, and it's a very unknown artist. It's David Francis, Come Rain or Come Shine. And just going, yes, this is how I play it. And then didn't really care about
That's amazing.
And that person was happy, so I'm very glad.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's those feelings that are the best, you know? I don't know. I think it's difficult if you... And again, this is like, of course, just my experience. And we just got through talking about how we're both frustrated with not knowing what the secret spice is. But I think so much of it does just come down to like, if I go into something thinking this is going to net me success, it never will.
It'll get weird. You'll get burned out. Yeah.
Yeah. You just get burnt out with like those expectations. And that's kind of what happened with the label, to be honest.
Yeah.
I'm not going to go into it too much, but long story short, I was signed with, I wasn't on a label, but I was signed to be managed by the label.
Okay, yeah.
And they released the last two of my songs that came out at the beginning and Little Dreamer were done through them. And I just didn't have a great time with them. Communication was really not good. It was really not there. I constantly didn't know what was going on or what to expect or what was going to happen. And, you know, even when I'd started the relationship, I'd been like, okay, I'm not going to get my hopes up. Like, this is going to be a long process, whatever. And even without getting my hopes up, I still ended up being let down, but in ways I didn't expect.
Yeah.
But I told them yesterday that I wasn't going to move forward and release any more songs with them.
Oh.
And they were very nasty, and very unkind. And I I sent them a very professional little message, and they basically gaslit me, tore me apart.
Oh.
Saying I didn't know what I was talking about and that I'd misled them and blah, 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 which I knew was going to be the response.
Yeah.
And it was really disappointing, because I was hoping that we could at least be somewhat civil, and they weren't. And I responded just very brief, just, you know, thank you for your perspective, whatever. And so that was disappointing, but it was definitely this thing, you know, I met them last year. I was kind of excited for what that was going to be and that was going to entail. And I had this whole idea of like, you know, it's probably not going to be this success, but it's going to be something. It's going to be, I'm going to have a team that's going to fight for me. Yeah. And in the end, it didn't really feel like I had that. And that was what I wanted. And that's the main reason I left them, is because I have an opportunity now to have an actual team that I can communicate with and talk to. And that's very exciting. That's based within my community, which is really great.
More news on this later, I guess, or?
Yeah, more news on this later.
Yeah.
But yeah, just I'm taking things back into my own hands, but with a team that I know and trust and can communicate with. And that's really the biggest thing for me. Yeah.
That believe in Alanna,
and communicating with me and that want to talk to me and that know who I am, you know, and that aren't just, I don't know, hoping that I become a golden goose.
That is weird, yeah, because it's such a... How do I phrase this? It is a delicate balance having a manager or having someone take care of you. Mm-hmm. They need to know you and like what you do, and they need to see you they need to have a plan laid out that works for you. I am guessing it's the same as a personal trainer. Where you would like to find someone who listens to what you're struggling with and what you need help with. Instead of applying the formula of, yes, this always works, do this.
And that's kind of what it felt like. I think that's actually a really good comparison, is that it's I don't know, actually.
And especially because it communicates.
Well, that's exactly it. It's like, I don't know. I don't know what they were doing. I don't know what was happening because they didn't communicate anything. You know, I hired someone to do PR a few years ago, and she was lovely. And at the time, I was like, we didn't get a ton of write-ups, but the write-ups that we did get were genuine articles, were people that were writing their opinions and their feelings on my music in publications that were well regarded. And she showed me every step of the way. These are the people that I'm contacting. These are the responses. This is what I need from you. And I never got that from this other company.
Oh, God.
You know, I never had that perspective, I guess. And so it's difficult for me to say like, oh yeah, you know, they've done all this work, or it's just like, and I knew too that they were going to turn it around, and they didn't get this personal in their response, but I half expected them to turn around and be like, well, it's not our fault. It's not getting picked up. It's the music, and blame the songs and blame me. And, you know, they kind of did, but they not directly. And so it was messy. Anyways, that's my tangent of the week. That's my news update.
I'm sorry. Glad to hear that there's
news update with Alanna.
Very glad to hear that there's a new thing coming up, though.
Yeah.
Curious to hear more about this later on.
Yes. More to come.
More to come.
TM.
Did you say TM?
It's a much better. Yeah? I did.
Nice. Stay cliffhangers.
Have you ever had like a manager? Have you ever worked with a company? Would you ever work?
Yes.
Would you work with a label or with a management company?
I would love to work with a label. As I said, like you said, I would just like to have someone in my corner who could go, Theo, just do this. Do this little thing. I need you to do this I need you to do Y because of Z. And going, okay, I can do this. Because I left to my own device, I don't do much. Or I do a whole lot of nothing. I mean, I've learned, like, now I'm learning how to edit videos more and getting into that because I find it so much fun. But I would also like someone to just go, Theo, you're trying to do good. If you could just shift focus for a little bit and do this little one thing, things would be a lot easier for you. So, but yes, I would like management, I think. And I've been thinking about, Fel has offered many times to be like my manager. Stuff, and friends have also on it, but I'm thinking I should probably not let my wife be my manager and probably keep like that side of music and business outside of the relationship for future Fel and Theo. I think that would be very, very good.
I've like begged Ghost to be my manager and he won't do it.
For those of you who don't know, musicians, we are very, very fragile creatures and we just need someone to go, you're going to this gig, I booked you this. Like my dream scenario, my absolute dream scenario is someone goes, bring Theo, because they know my schedule, and they go, you're playing tonight, you're playing this party or this pub, whatever, and they know your music and they want you to come and play. You don't have to talk about salary with them. You just show up with a guitar and go, hello friends, I'm here to play some songs, and then you play the songs and you leave. And then there's money on the counter in my house and there's food in the fridge. And then I'm a very happy man.
That is an absolute dream scenario. I like that a lot.
So about the pay, instead of having that awkward conversation at the end of the night, going, so we discussed on the phone. Just having someone take care of that, or like videos, or you need product deadlines. I need someone to go. I need a product manager. I think. Can you hire those people?
Yes. I mean, I would say yes. I feel like it's a job I could do.
No, Alanna, no. Drop it, Alanna, drop it. No.
Did you say drop it?
Bad Alanna. No more jobs. No more project. No. Yes. No. No, you're not getting that job. No.
That's very funny. First of all, yes, you are correct. No more jobs for me.
I am certain that you would be very good at doing that job. I am 100% certain that you would excel in doing that work. But there are more pressing matters.
Yes. And what's funny is that, like, when I think about it, it's like, if I would be good at that job, why not do it for myself?
Yes.
But that's different.
Perhaps.
That's different.
Perhaps a mirror. And they're going, today, you are going to sit down and write 5 songs. Oh
my God.
Yes.
I feel like it's just that perspective thing, right? Like, I'm so caught up in my own shit that I feel like there's something that when you look at someone else's shit,
you can just go, well, untangle that mess, just pull on that thread and it'll all resolve.
Yeah, you can see it. You can't see it for yourself as easily.
You're just inside that whole ball of yarn going, help!
Yeah. Yeah. And I think, like, I'm not taking on any more jobs right now. Don't you worry. But I am always kind of thinking about what the future looks like. And, you know, I now know, thanks to this website, how much I made in the last year and a half on Twitch. Shocker, spoiler, not a livable wage.
No.
Unsurprisingly, not a livable wage. But I mean, like, with tips and stuff, it evens out
for sure.
But
but
it does, you know, make me think about supplementary income and stuff like that. And I think what I do know is I love sound design. I don't think I can take another sound design contract for a while. I think that, I mean, it burnt me out so horribly and all that. But I think it's also, I don't know, I want to do stuff that's in music, like doing that production stuff like I talked about. I'd love to do stuff like that, but also being able to help. Oh my gosh, the lo-fi has been really fun too. I really like doing lo-fi stuff. I really like it. But just thinking about like doing that, you know, managerial stuff in a way, or at least like if I learn how to do PR, doing the job that this label was supposed to be doing for me, but doing it better, you know, like emailing someone on the day of their release to say, congratulations, your music is out.
What? Why would you do that?
I don't know. What you mean, common human courtesy? And it's funny because they said in their email, they're like, you should have asked us, or you should have told us, you should have given us your feedback sooner. And it's like, I'm not going to ask you to email me to congratulate me for my releases coming out. That's just as bad. Now you're just doing it because I asked you to do it. Could you hand
me these flowers as I walk off the stage?
Yeah, exactly. Hey, I want you to go buy me flowers so that you can give me the flowers.
Could you hang this on me?
Yeah, can you give me this medal? Yeah, exactly. It's just obscene. But anyway.
Oh man, this has been a wonderful chat. I'm feeling very invigorated and very and energized. I was feeling like complete and utter crap for the last few days.
Yeah. Do you want to talk about that a little bit? What? Where's your head? Why is your head so bad?
Why is my head filled with poo? I don't know.
Where's your head at?
Where's my head? It just feels like I'm stupid, like unintelligent, like a Theo Smash. Okay. Incompetent at playing my instrument and singing. And it's all those. It's 100% imposter syndrome. But now, previous years, imposter syndrome has been coming like at different. It hasn't been all the time. This year,
is that his little dance when he walks up to you? He's like, "Hey, imposter syndrome. I'm coming to get you."
And then 1, 2. Then he punches you. Yeah. This year, apparently, imposter syndrome has teamed up with Comparison Beast and also the seasonal depression that I always suffer from. And now they're not doing like that old fighting movie thing where they come one by one and you go, ha, I can no, though. They all three attack at the same time. And I'm left going, it's fun.
Yeah. I feel that. I feel that big time.
Like not P. Diddy. Isn't that the old Keisha song?
Yeah. The acronym could be SID.
Yes.
Comparison Beast. So like C, imposter syndrome, I, and then depression, D.
When those things
call him Sid. And Sid comes to call.
Stars are aligned, Sid's in sight, and you go, I'm gonna cry all night. Because we were supposed to chat yesterday, but I sent Alanna a message going, I am now. I'm sending communications from my blanket fort from the couch, where I was sending messages from inside of my weighted blanket. It was good. I needed that.
I'm sorry that you're dealing with that. That's horrible.
But it's also good in a way because I talked to my mom about this. That I was feeling blue, and I at least had the presence of mind nowadays, knowing that this is just in passing. It's a blip on the radar. It's a major blip, and it's a major inconvenience, and it feels awful.
It's a big blip, but it sucks.
Yeah. And I can still pull through, and I can do things, and I can pull myself through it. As we talked about before, circling the drain and pulling myself up and going, nope, no, stop. And it's important, and I'm getting better at it. But it's been rough, and I'm just super impressed by myself that I've actually done things this week. I recorded the thing, and I've done things I should be doing. So it's good.
Good. That is good. Do you have things around this time of year that usually you can do? Like, do you have tactics to like pull yourself out of the depressive?
I used to have a very, very effective method of just drinking throughout October. The old time-tested Elfving version. No, but video games has been like my fortress of solitude before. But as we talked about last time, as you can't focus on games, neither can I. I boot up a game and I go, no. It's just such a weird thing to go, I'm going to play some Dota or whatever and just make a few... No, I can't. And I just sit here and then I open up YouTube and I think, I'm going to find a clip to make me happy. And no, I turn that off and go to Twitch and nope, YouTube again.
Yeah. It's a whole mess.
But I'm still kept my sobriety and like I'm not indulging in alcohol to compensate, and cigarettes are still off the table, which is good. And I've been meditating and not using Instagram or Twitter and doom scrolling. Good, Theo.
Good. That was a good Theo. Good Theo. You did it.
Yeah. Because that is also like a thing you would do, or I would do, when I'm like I'm feeling like this, is trying to like, I'll download Twitter and just scroll for a bit and see if I can. Mm-hmm. And then it gets less bueno. Yeah.
Instagram and Facebook went down this week.
Oh, yeah.
And WhatsApp. I was not inconvenienced at all.
No, me neither.
I didn't really notice. I did notice because I wanted to post. I'm trying to. This is really dumb, but I'm trying to like organize my like Instagram grid nicely for Songtober, so it's like song photo, song photo, song photo, so that it'll like look all nice. Anyway, it just ends up meaning that I have to post like 2 things every day. Yeah. But I was trying to post the photo in the morning so that I could post the song in the afternoon, and I couldn't post the photo. And I was like, everything's broken. But then I was like, okay, I guess I'm going to get off Instagram. Like it really didn't affect me at all. Yeah. I know it affected a lot of people.
Discord is amazing.
It was fun. Yeah. And I was busy. I was just doing other stuff.
It was nighttime here when that happened. Or later in the evening.
Yeah.
Do you believe it was a router that was like unplugged?
I do. I saw some explanations for things that like because they were trying to like switch servers. Yeah. But then everything that they have runs on those servers, like the key cards to get into the buildings, all of the computers, everything runs off of those same servers. So they couldn't get in anywhere. They couldn't do anything because everything runs off the same system, and the system was down.
Amazing.
Yeah, it's
I can only imagine
ridiculously stupid.
Sweating solids for the people there going, how did we do this?
Yeah.
Who was in charge? I was in charge of them. Oh my God, no. I had one job.
Whoever pressed enter on that line of code, like, who submitted, like, that was good.
Do this for today, and then I'm done. I'm just going to head out.
Yeah. This whole thing. God, I wonder if they got fired. Probably.
Yeah. Or it would be like a weird Christmas party. Look at Steve over there. The power.
Yeah, he's the guy who has to dress up as Santa that year. Give everyone gifts out of his own pay.
Because sit on his lap going, tell Santa what you want. To everyone.
Everyone tell Santa what you want, and then Santa tell everyone what you've done. Yeah.
The just punishment. Oh, that sounds like a circle of hell.
Oh, yeah. I broke Facebook.
There you go.
Sorry, that was terrible.
That's a wonderful mental picture. With a bell. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the one.
That's the one.
Oh, man. Very bad.
Very good. Next week.
I am also...
Sorry.
Yes.
No,
go ahead.
No. Talk. I'm doing the finger thing where it implies talk.
Talk. I don't know how to make my fingers. Oh, there we go. Wait.
How do I make my fingers? I think that will be the name of the episode. How do I make my fingers?
How do I make my fingers? For those of you, this is probably not a clip. So for those of you who would like to once again follow along on what are we doing with our hands, if you put your palms together and your fingers straight, and then you're going to open and close your fingers consistently pointed at somebody. Now you are doing the thing with your fingers and hands that Theo and I are doing with our fingers and hands. You are welcome. Oh, yeah. We're just sitting here being done with our hands. I was going to say that I've also been depressed.
A good title. We're just sitting here being done with our
Anyways, depression.
Depression. It's fun when you laugh about depression.
It's very fun. Yes. I went to a wedding on Saturday and had a very bad time, and I felt very bad. It wasn't the wedding's fault.
Okay, good.
It was my brain's fault, and that's the worst part.
Yeah.
Is that the wedding was lovely. It was in a gorgeous place. The weather was beautiful. The food was good. My friends were there. Like, there was the most people I've seen at one time, like in one place
Conditions
since
were perfect
COVID.
for a good time.
Conditions were perfect for a good time, and I
You were miserable.
was miserable. It sucked. It sucked so bad. Thanks, brain. Look at all these things. Oh, would you like everything that makes you happy usually to happen all at the same time? Yeah? You want to be real sad?
No.
Okay.
We're doing it.
It was so bad. I was just like, because I'm so burnt out, I was just like exhausted, like just fully exhausted, very dissociated. Yeah. Making conversation was really difficult. I remember sitting at dinner, and if I had closed my eyes, I would have fallen asleep. Like, that's how bad. And it's so impossible to explain that to the people that you're with. I thought at one point I was gonna just have like a panic attack. Like, it was not a good time.
No bueno.
No bueno.
No bueno.
No bueno.
No bueno.
No bueno. But like, you can't help when your brain does that.
No.
You know.
It's just
sometimes you gotta like make a blanket for it and cancel the podcast.
Yeah, and you go, yep, I'm staying here. Yeah.
Yeah.
And hopefully you have a wonderful podcast partner. We'll go, okay, well, we'll reschedule.
Yeah, I mean,
no,
I do
you're
what I
sitting
can.
in front of the computer. I don't care if you're crying. Get up here. Welcome to sleep. That's a good podcast. I think Alanna's now broken.
That's what episode 99 will end up being. It's just us crying because we've been doing it for too long.
That's episode 98.
Oh,
We're
man.
just talking ultrasonic.
It was great. This has made me feel better as well. I know you said earlier it made you feel better. This has made me feel better also. I hope that your brain cuts you some slack. I hope Sid fucks off. And I know that when you're in that state, you know these things that I'm going to say already, but I'm going to say them anyways. Which is that you do know how to play guitar. Yeah. You do know how to sing. And you are a wonderful musician.
Sorry.
But when you're feeling like that, and this is like a PSA for everyone who's listening, like when someone comes to you and they say, I feel like I'm terrible at everything, you going, that's ridiculous. You're really good at everything. You know you're really good at everything. It's not helpful. Don't do that. No. Don't say that. It doesn't help because like we do know. Deep down we know. And it's just at that time you feel so wrong that you can't really hear that, you know, like it's difficult to take that in, you know, and like always reassure people, but don't do it in a way that's like belittling, you know, like if someone's like, oh, I feel XYZ, you can't be like, that's ridiculous. You're amazing. It's like, no. Your way that you feel is legitimate and fair. You can't help how you feel. Yeah. I can still tell you that you're an incredible musician. I'm not going to make you feel bad about it. I'm not going to make you feel bad that you don't know right now that you're an incredible musician. At some point you will again.
Thank you.
But yes, you're welcome.
It'll be good.
It's really difficult.
Yeah.
It's difficult. Anyways, you were going to say something like 10 minutes ago.
But next week, you're in Halifax.
I am in Halifax.
In the is that the eastern part of Canada?
It is.
Aren't you in the eastern part of Canada?
I am. Canada is massive.
Good. Okay, well then because I pick. Okay, good. Then my geography is not that bad. Okay, cool. So you're just going.
No,
north.
your geography is quite good. Yes. Hilariously, so my time zone is Eastern Standard Time.
Yes.
Which is the most Eastern time zone.
All the time zones in the land. Sorry.
Nope. That America goes to. But there is another time zone.
The promised
which
land.
is where I'm going. The true East.
The true East. Oh. East by East.
Yes, is an hour.
Okay, yeah.
Back.
I'm guessing
Forward?
It would be 5 hours behind me. So an hour ahead of you.
I think it's almost 5 o'clock here. I think it's almost 6 o'clock then.
Yeah.
There.
That would make sense because it's 11 here. Yeah.
Yes. Time in Halifax.
Halifax.
Yes, it is 5:54. They are in ADT is the time zone.
I'm trying to find Atlantic, no?
Yes.
Yes. There
Yeah.
we go.
Atlantic Daylight Time. Yeah.
You did
So
it.
normally it would be Atlantic Standard Time, AST. But it's daylight time because daylight savings.
And you'll be taking time off.
So I'm excited
and
about
hanging
that.
out. You meet Charlie?
I'm going to meet Charlie.
Charlie plays.
I hear he plays guitars.
Yeah. He's an incredible musician. Oh my God, Charlie.
Holy crap, I know.
Acorn?
Yeah, Charlie Acorn. Yeah. Yeah, he's amazing. I'm really, really excited to meet him. We're going to have dinner with his family on Wednesday, which I think is so cute. They're going to cook us dinner. So Ghost and I are going to go over and meet his wife and his kid.
Oh, wow.
Which is really, really exciting.
That
so I'm looking forward
fantastic.
to that. Yeah, that'll be really nice. A moment of gratitude.
Hello?
For our friends that we've made on Twitch.
The friends we made along the way. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's incredible how many people we've met and how many points you and I share between each other, community-wise as well. How many people? It's wonderful. So happy about every single one and grateful for every single one.
Yeah.
The people we've met.
Me too. Yeah, me too. It's been really lovely getting to meet people now that COVID is manageable. Getting to meet Courtney was amazing. I'm excited to get to meet Charlie and do some traveling around. I was supposed to go and stream with Julien Bellumer in Quebec in October as well, but
cool.
We haven't talked about it, and I am tired all the time. So I don't know if that's going to happen this month, but it will happen. It will happen at some point. Yeah? So,
wow.
Yeah.
Never mind. It was a really dumb question. It's no.
No.
We strike this from the protocol.
No.
There was no question. I said
what?
And then.
What was the question? I didn't know. I was going to ask,
does he speak English? But I know he speaks English.
Yes, he does.
Yes. I told you it was stupid.
Yeah, it was a pretty dumb question, but that's okay.
I don't know if that's...
Honestly, it's a fair question because he lives in Quebec. He's French. He's very much French.
Yeah.
This was lovely. Thank you.
This was very lovely. Thank you so much for chatting.
I really do genuinely hope that your head feels better. And...
Yeah, me too. It would be good if I woke up tomorrow and it was like the old "I'm walking on such." That would be
and it never is.
No.
But do you find that there is a time of day that you feel better?
No.
Okay.
No, it's during the night, I guess. Now it's like sort of if I can. Yeah. I've been watching Squid Game and like I've been watching.
Oh, I haven't watched that yet.
And like to do it. Crime series on Netflix. That has been helping. Just to get out of my own head for a while. Yep. That helps.
That's good. I find first thing in the morning
Yeah.
Especially when I'm like quite depressed first thing in the morning. When I first wake up,
so
there's
stressed.
a moment where it's like, but there's a moment when you first wake up.
When you think everything's going to be okay.
Yeah. Where you don't remember that everything sucks. Where you're like, my mental health is fine. I'm not exhausted. You just slept. You like wake up and you have this just like moment in the morning. I find that's always my favorite. I always try and hold on to that.
In the Mountain King's Hall. Yeah, and it hits. Yeah,
and then it all hits you in the face all at once. Yeah. When I was,
is that it? By
the
way?
last time that I had like a big depressive episode, which I flirt with depression, but I haven't had like a truly bad like debilitating episode in a very long time. But when I did, I found that the morning was like that. It was like the first thing in the morning. Sleep was my favorite thing because I couldn't think while I was sleeping. And then waking up in the morning, there was always a moment of like, things are good.
Yeah.
And then it would be like, poof.
Well, here we fucking go.
Not anymore. Yeah. Yeah.
So on that note, dum 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 dum.
On that note, we're both okay.
We're fine. I'm fine.
Yes.
It's just,
And to those of you who are dealing with even just one of the three things that Theo is dealing with, if your seasonal depression is so common this time of year, it's very difficult. Go and do something nice for yourself.
yes, take it
today.
Have some tea, sit down with a book,
Yeah.
do something you enjoy,
Yeah.
and take some
It
me
doesn't
time.
have to be. Yeah, it doesn't have to be big, but just do something that makes you feel a little bit nice today.
Yeah.
This is me giving you permission to do that. Make yourself a cup of tea. I think tea sounds good, Theo.
Or coffee, whatever you like for
Or
beverage.
coffee.
Or just
But do it because you want to do it.
Yeah.
Or go get yourself like a fancy Starbucks drink. Or a little tub of ice cream.
or bubble tea, whatever little treats.
Oh, bubble tea is a
and
good
you
one.
enjoy little treats,
Yeah.
and you take care of yourself.
Yeah,
That is
take care of yourself.
our
Make
homework
yourself
for you
feel
today.
good. Yes, do that. Also, follow us
Yes.
at linktr.ee/mostly finished.
Yeah.
All of our links are there. Or you can Google Alanna, Matty, or Theodor Elfving.
Yes. And you'll find us there as well.
And you'll find us there as well.
Thank you so much for listening to us, and we'll see you in 2 weeks.
you.
Next week there will be no podcast episode.
That's correct. Next week there will be no podcast, and then we'll be back the week after,
Yes.
which will be very nice. So have a good couple of weeks.
Yeah. Have a good vacation, and I'll talk to you soon.
Thank you.
Make street elephants a
I
horse
will
thing.
attempt. Yeah, I was about to say I will attempt to make street elephants a horse
Bring it
thing while I'm
to
away.
the Atlantic seaboard.
Yes, exactly. Goodbye.
Goodbye.